See if this works out, guys. Can y'all hear me? I hope so. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I've got something good planned for everybody. Something's not quite working right. My sound again. Can you hear me tonight? Can everybody hear me? Put a 1 in the chat, please, if you can. If you can't, I'll try to fix it. Let's see. What's up, John Davis? Keep around. So, say hello to everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Blue Moon, Arietti, American True Crime, Patty Barnett, Just My Thoughts, Sage Sleuth, Patty Ponytail, Mark Allen, Who Said What, Darling Tanks, Creatively Inspired by Denise, Momo, Christy Marie, Debbie Howard, Patricia Eames Price, Dina, hello everybody, hey Shay. Let's see who else is in here. TT, Bill. There's a lot of y'all tonight, man. Thank y'all for coming over here. I appreciate it. Carly with an eye. Desiree, as always. Young Diddley. Comrade Heather. Forget Me Not. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. So, Jackie, Stormy. You making fun of me, John Davis? No, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. So, this morning, I'm going to explain how this is going to go. So, I've got 2 parts. Alright, because I was able to ask questions to one person of this firm today, and I have an appointment coming up on another day with another person to speak to kind of go more in depth with my questions. And is there music playing? I am sorry, I can't hear it on this end. Wow. So there was music playing that whole time? I can't hear it. That's crazy. I wonder why I couldn't hear it. See, I'm telling you, that was my sound issues going on. Is it stopped now? Okay, my bad, guys. My bad. I didn't know music was playing. I can't hear anything. That's insane. So what did you hear? Last thing you heard? Okay. That should have been... And that makes me mad. I was trying to plan something with that music too. Of course, man. Leave it to me to have some freaking bad luck. Anyway, so my interview that I'm going to be playing tonight, it's going to be 2 parts. One of the people from the firm I spoke to earlier, got to ask some questions, got to get an interview in. The next interview I have is at a later date. Had to schedule it. So this is going to be good. I thought you were trying to be edgy, lol. Yeah, I was going to, but sad thing is you can't be edgy when you can't hear it. So yeah, this is just a little bit behind where I'm seeing in the chat. So I've got a lot. So y'all saw my community post earlier. I have to explain this because boy did it get taken wrong. Okay, how to do this. All right. In no way, shape, or form was my community post earlier meant to throw shade on the interview room or Chris McDonough. But I mean, is it not like you can't say his name with, something that's not just 100%, uplifting without getting attacked? That's not what I was trying to do. My question was, let me pull this up. Well, this will be better. Let me just go ahead and pull it up. Okay, so let me go to this real quick and I'll just show you what I'm talking about before I play what I'm going to tonight. Dang, hurry up and load. Okay. There it is. Okay, so y'all can see this, right? Let me zoom in and give this full screen so everybody can see it. All right. So I asked TBI, is this true? Because you first tweeted, Leslie Earhart, that the TBI was not working with Mr. McDonough, or nor did you ask for his assistance. This is to throw no shade on Mr. McDonough or anyone else. Just a valid question, because in this clip, he says he had submitted everything he has to a share file that was shared with him by TBI. I do have a clip that is working now in this, and we're going to play it. Again, it's not any hate towards Mr. McDonough. I just want to know which is true, because the info coming from YouTube channels is being accepted, and that's contradictory to what law enforcement has stated. Number two, a share file would be info shared back and forth from LE to a YouTube creator. Yes, that's what I took it. Now it might not be, but he said that TBI gave him the share file. Let's play the clip real quick, and we'll play exactly what was said. Let me mute. Dang, what happened? Oh, okay, now I got it.
Is on it. And by the way, for the record, I have submitted everything in a share file that was shared with me from TBI. So those of you that have been lying about me, hey, knock it off. Because I'm real curious as to why you're involved. Is on it. And by the way, for the record, I have submitted everything in a share file that was shared with me from TBI. So those of you that have been lying about me, hey, knock it off. About me. Hey,
hold on, guys. I'm sorry about that. Something just kicked me out of my internet stream just now. Can y'all hear me okay? Is everything okay? Because I might have to drop the bandwidth on. Hold on one second. I'm sorry about that. Daggone, man. One thing after another. Here. Let's see if this is a little better. Okay, that's what it was. I need to drop the bandwidth a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry about that. So it kicked me out of the live, and it's like I've seen quite a few people have some problems with their channels here lately. It's not streaming correctly.
Because is on it. And by the way, for the record, I have submitted everything in a share file that was shared with me from TBI. So those of you that have been lying about me, hey, knock it off.
Okay, so you heard what he said. This last part
is
here
on it. And by the way, for the record, I have submitted everything in a share file that was shared with me from TBI. So those of you that have been lying about me, hey, knock it off.
Okay. So there's that. So there's that. So did you hear that? I'm so sorry about that. My internet is usually better than this. And I kind of don't understand what's going on. Before I forget, if you guys need a VPN, a virtual private network, I left a link in the description. It gives you a discount to get you, some money off if anybody needs a virtual private network to protect their internet, make sure you're not hacked, things like that. It's through Surfshark. It's a great VPN. I use it, and just trying to be helpful. I saw that I had it earlier, so I put the link in there to help you guys out if anybody needs it. But besides that, so you heard what he said, right? That's not throwing shade on that man. How is that throwing any shade or hate on that man? Look, I know people support him just like we have supporters. That's not what it's about. Okay. But he says that TBI gave him a share folder, not the other way around. I don't know what that means. It's not very specific. So I asked the question. That would mean that TBI and law enforcement contradict themselves. If they are, because you remember on June 15, 2022, they said, do not submit any information that you saw from a YouTube video or Facebook theory. Okay, but if you have a share folder back and forth, but if it's saying, hey, we're giving information, that's not very clear. Okay, so I just asked the question on that. No shade on him. I'm just asking law enforcement, why is one person, because despite it, Chris McDonough, yes, he has credentials, he's ex-law enforcement, but he's not active law enforcement now. So that would mean that he's just a regular civilian content creator YouTube channel. That's contradictory. If you saw something on his channel, is it okay to report that information from that video then and nobody else's? I don't understand. Now, there was questions asked, how come if, what's the difference with him submitting his information over to law enforcement and you submitting yours, Cam? Was one of the questions and comments. And I said, good question, because I've said numerous times they didn't get back in touch with us. And they were like, well, he had valid info. He spoke to the parents, and we did too. More than Mr. McDonough did. And law enforcement didn't want to hear anything we had to say. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I thought it would be valid. But, maybe not. Maybe not. It does matter. It does matter. People said, does it even matter? Yeah, it does matter, because in my own opinion, I think a tip is a tip. There's people that have been all over that. There's a lot of content YouTube creators that have been in Beech Creek that are speaking to people in the Beech Creek community on Ben Hill Road. How are things that they might have heard that law enforcement might not be told, because people don't like to come forward to law enforcement sometimes? What if they told a content creator something? Then is it not good to report something that might have been said to that creator? What if? Example, what if? This is just figuratively, this is not even example. What if somebody was to say to some content creator in the Beech Creek community and said that was out there filming or whatever, somebody walked up that lived out there and was like, hey, I've not told anybody this before, but somebody told me that lives back here that they know where Summer is. Just say that. So what if somebody walks? So does that mean that? And then that content creator comes on and talks about, hey, this person in this community came and spoke to me about this. I reported it, but they didn't want to take my report seriously because I'm on YouTube. Does that make sense, though? Do you get where I'm coming from? No shade, no hate, no nothing. People then said, well, that post made by Leslie Earhart was from last year. It's an official statement. It doesn't change until they change it and make another statement that says otherwise, just like anything else in this. So I don't want it to be taken that way. It was not meant to be that way. Yeah, exactly. That I agree with you, American True Crime. So I just asked if that to specify, because that if if that's contradicting, you can't. That's like saying, hey, every YouTube creator is not accepted except for that one, that channel right there. We'll take his info, but we'll take no one else's. And while we do it, we're going to share some info with that person. That's the only question I had, and I was asking law enforcement. I had nothing against him. He was just the person in question because of things he said. Um, I have a lot of respect too. I had respect for Josh from the lab. He came over to my channel one night. We were going through some stuff, and he he was uplifting because I had actually watched a live on his channel right before going live, and it kind of calmed me down. It was inspirational. But he said something during his Tim Mullen live. He said, why, Tim Mullen, are you against anybody helping? And y'all know good and well, me and Tim Mullen don't see eye to eye. I'm not a big fan of him whatsoever and been very vocal about it. But Josh then said, well, law enforcement has asked for the community's help. They've asked for, they actually, very first statement ever, on their first press conference was, we don't need the help of the public. We don't want it. Now, they asked people that own property in Beach Creek community, but as far as people going out there searching and stuff, no, they don't want help. And they probably don't want any creators down there as well. You know what I mean? I'm just asking. I mean, these are valid questions. They're legitimate questions. I don't understand how they are not. Have very valid information to share, and it should be accepted. Sage Sleuth, I agree 100%. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have been talking to people that were firsthand, well, I mean, just here recently, what Don B had an interview with Jackie Dobbs. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second, please. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. Got a milkshake. And that thing's going to have to thaw. Anyway. Yeah. So I agree with you, Sage Sleuth. 100%. That's right. Fun Fest is the weekend. People watch your children. No, yeah, Aaron, I appreciate. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think that was handled correctly either. Michael Crow's the Crow case, that was not handled correctly either. But people make mistakes. I'm not judging for that. But one thing that I have had an issue with, and I would tell Mr. McDonough this if he was on this channel tonight, if he wasn't. I feel like it's been one narrative from over there. It's been like the parents did it. Nothing else is even feasible. Nothing else is even possible. And I don't feel that way. I feel like it can be a lot bigger, and I feel like it's a lot more. Yes, he has a law enforcement background. He worked in California. He worked in the cities and stuff. I know it's a different dynamic out here. I know that the country out there is completely a different ball game. But I know that when he went out there, the trails and stuff were shown to him. He didn't take much notice of them, and that's why we filmed them. Even with the stuff with uh, Jackhammer Jamie that happened, there was just some stuff I didn't agree with, but we all make mistakes. I've made mistakes. I've not been perfect through this, and that's not throwing any shade on him. I just wanted to make that very clear. So people that do follow him, that's not what that was about, and I think it was being taken way out of context. But everybody's allowed to be talked about, be asked about. If something isn't right, or if something isn't accurate, if something doesn't add up that's being said, I mean, we have to question. We all have to stay on the same line. It was the same thing with Brandon, the neighbor in the JLR video that went down there on Light Hollow Road. It was like, he was off limits. Can't talk about him, or that's just unheard of. But there was a lot of things that he didn't say that were accurate. You just had to listen, and we're going to go over some more of those. I hope y'all get where I'm coming from. CM was referring to Tim Mullins. What do you mean, Diane P? Yeah, that was. Glitter Bum, I'm not saying that they didn't have the information we were giving them on voicemail. I assure you that. There's no way they could have had it. There's no way they could have had things that we found on searches that they didn't go pick up for days at a time. There's things that there's no way, and they didn't really show initiative to even care about it. There was conversations that were had between the parents and us that there's no way anybody else could have had it. One-on-one conversations that I tried to talk to law enforcement about, but they didn't call back. Those are the things that has me wondering. It's one person. You're not giving 100% to an investigation if you're not taking every bit, especially people that are right there early on, speaking to main people that were around, last people, suspects is what they, Sheriff Flosson had first said. This is what he said: there are no persons of interest. Everyone is a suspect. Y'all remember that clip I played? I can pull it up, and I'm saying it correctly. It's not the other way around. A lot of people twisted that. He didn't say everyone. There is no suspects. Everyone's a person. He said there are no persons of interest. Everyone is a suspect. That's what he said. But regardless of that, we're there in close proximity, multiple occasions, talking to people that would have been the people to see Summer Wells before she went missing, and they didn't care what we had to say. I had a problem with that. Still do. I don't know, Money C. I don't know. I just, the way he said that just rubbed me wrong, and I had to jump on it. It's not doing any of this justice. It's a missing child. Everything's relevant. I hate that excuse. Does this really matter? Yes. If you're not holding law enforcement accountable by asking, hey, why did you say this? And then this was said, is this true? If you're not holding, and they feel like that things can just be swept under the rug, then we're not giving Summer, the effort that's needed by asking questions. I don't care. Law enforcement, yes, they're in charge of an investigation, but we are a community. We are people that live in this nation, in these towns, in these counties, in these places, and they are here to serve and protect who? Us as the community. we do have a right to ask questions. We have a right to have our voices heard if something, we report something. Yes, I understand that there are tips that are outlandish, crazy, that don't make sense, that are just completely off the wall. Yes, I understand that, and those waste time. But there are tips that might be coming. I don't care if it's YouTube. I don't care if it's Facebook. I don't care if it's a note you found in a freaking Monopoly box, whatever it is. And it says if it's valid tip, take it. Act like somebody, somebody act like you care. That's what the issue I have. I'm not speaking bad about them either. I'm just saying why. Why turn down resources when people offer? When Adventures with Purpose said summer wasn't in the water last. Why? Those are valid questions. Sorry, I got a little whew, got a little high strung there. Oh, thank you so much, Curse with Curiosity. Let me catch up with what y'all are saying. Okay, how do you feel? How do you feel about the second tip line that the PIs go through first? Okay, so what that I don't feel negatively towards it. Some people don't feel comfortable reporting tips to law enforcement. What about these shows? What about America's Most Wanted? What about these shows? What about these other private investigators? What about these other organizations that have tip lines? It's there, but they have a obligation and responsibility to help walk those people through to report that to law enforcement. So if it is a private investigator group, if they get a tip, they have a legal responsibility to turn that tip over to law enforcement too, whether they're running an investigation separately or not. There's a lot more to that. People think, oh, it's a tip line. You're just taking tips and not reporting them to law enforcement. I saw something, and I wanted to know where it came from. The TBI. TBI had added the private investigators in to people, didn't they? And that Lana, okay. You want me to answer your question right here? Very good question. Thank you for asking this right now. Cam, please contact Chris M and let him talk to you. Why didn't you ask about your concerns in his live? Please remember that there is information that can't be released due to an ongoing case. Chris has 40 years. Yes, believe me, there's things we haven't talked about still because it could hurt an investigation. That was our main thing from the beginning. But you know why I didn't ask anything in his live? Because I get timed out if I ask one question over there and then blocked. Never done anything to him. That's why. I don't hold a grudge about it. It's just what it is. I've tried to ask very polite questions and I get timed out immediately over there. So that's why. I guess we're on the shunned list. Me and Chasing Truth and Allie and a few others. We can't even conversate. I was really surprised when Josh from the lab came over to my channel. I'm not throwing any shade on him either. Do I agree with a lot of their stuff? No, I don't. There's one narrative they have, and they keyed in on one person, and nothing else fits, and nothing else matters, and that I don't agree with that. A lot of the things that have been said, I'm sorry, it's not accurate on some of the things that have been stated. Now, I heard Josh from the lab say, people are going after Jody Sue because they don't like the way she smokes and they don't like the way she holds her cigarette and they don't like the way she talks. It was way more than that, believe me. It was not personal vendetta on Jody Sue why people were upset. It was because she got caught in so many contradictions contradictions in her statements over the months, and it just racked up, and people caught it, and then they brought it out. That's what it was. He said that was very, I even left a comment over there, and I think it got deleted. I try to reach out. I try to have a discussion with people. I want people to work together and speak, and we don't have to get along. We don't have to have the same belief systems or theories. We don't have to even agree with anything. But yeah, I don't know. That's why, though. No, he doesn't. Okay. Lana, you're not going to get it because you're on this defense. I've explained everything I can to you. I've reached out. I have many times. I've reached out to many of them. I'm not speaking, and I think you failed to hear everything I just said. I'm not throwing shade on him whatsoever. I was asking questions because they're valid. I don't care. It's not. This is about a missing child. It's not about me. It's not about him. It's not about whether he likes me or I like him. It's not about that. God, childish, man. Childish. And people can question him, even though he's ex-law enforcement and he's part of the Cold Case Foundation. People can have questions. This is a question too. How come that he doesn't have to answer questions while other content creators do? If people ask, why is it any different what you do, or why is it automatic that he doesn't have to answer things? Why can't he have say why I don't answer this, or why this doesn't apply to me, or this? Same with all of us. See, you know what I mean? Sure, I know I sure have had to answer my fair share of questions is involved with all of this. I got accused of some of the worst things ever early on. Me and Allie both did. That we were responsible for Summer going missing. We got accused of some heinous things, some just upsetting things. But some people feel like they don't have to answer questions. Why is that? Jody Sue feels like she doesn't. She comes out and she speaks what she feels like she feels like is important. But then when people ask her, why did you say this? And why doesn't this line up? She says, I don't have to answer. Y'all are just YouTube. Y'all are crazy. You think I have to answer you. Same thing with him. But, it's supposed to be like, just because you have a career in law enforcement, that you don't have to answer certain things. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. You have to be accountable for things you said and why you said it. It's not just because you say it means that it goes. And that's not hating him. That's just saying, we all have to do to go by that. It's not being mean. Wow. Let's see here. And I'm not saying anything. Y'all watch. Don't throw shade on him in the chat. No, don't talk ill about any other creators. We're not doing that. That's not what it's about. I'm just asking. I'm just stating things that I feel like that we all, as people on YouTube, need to talk about. Just, things that he's talked about and things that he said are no different from things that we've talked about and things that we've said. It's no more important, no less, important. He, if anything, probably with his knowing and career in law enforcement, probably a lot of the things that he's talked about probably shouldn't have been, to be him knowing. I don't know the difference. I asked a lot of things I felt like were important that could hurt an investigation, and like I said, we haven't talked about to this day until things are cleared or spoke about publicly that it might need to be backed up, that are maybe be true, and people are like, well, just like with Jody Sue's son, we knew about that from early on. We didn't bring that information out, but once it was made public, I made sure to go to the source and validate it. All right. Thank you, Bonnie Lambert. Yeah, give me his email and I'll email him. We'll talk. Thank y'all for keeping it cool in here, and I hope that I'm doing okay. I hope you get where I'm coming from. Again, if we can't talk like adults without getting mad and say, hey, why do you feel like you don't have to answer certain things? Hey, nobody can tell me I haven't been transparent. I've spoke about anything and everything, asked questions. I've held lives with creators that didn't even like me and let them ask me anything and everything they wanted, just to show I have nothing to hide, and I didn't back down from any question that was asked of me. I don't know how else. If we can't all come on here and do that, something's wrong. We need to be like that. Okay. On to the next thing. Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you, John Davis True Crime. Thank you, Liz. That's true. And if there's misinformation, then people need to be held accountable for it. Thank you, Kelsey. I'm trying to see some questions I can answer before we move on. Hold on. Allie, are you coming? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have an interview for you, Avery's mom. I do. I just had to clear that up because it got crazy earlier. What's up, Down Under Crime Talks? I don't know if that's what it means or not, because a share file, if it's given to him by law enforcement, would it not be sharing back and forth? If he had a share file, he can create a share file and turn it over to law enforcement. All they have to do is give him a link for him to send a share file to them. He specifically said a share file shared with me by TBI. That's what he said. That's different, though, Aaron. I get where you're coming from, but you see what I'm saying? I played that earlier. But see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a good question, because it wouldn't be sent a share file. Would it not be? Anybody can have a share file. I can make a share file right here, put everything I got on my computer in it, and then get a link from whatever the email is, or whatever link, wherever they want me to send it to, or they have a Dropbox account or a shareable, whatever, and you can give everything over. But he specifically said a share file given to him by TBI. That's the reason I questioned it. Okay. What's up, Scott H? What's up, everybody? Okay, we're done. I'm going to upload this now. What's going on? Are they trying to rush me? I'll sit here and be silent. You don't have to watch. People, I'm not going to say everything I say or put a comment. Everybody's not going to like. And I think this mentality of just like, I'll unsubscribe and I'll just leave. Why? If they feel that way, then, I'm sure not everything, unless you're a yes man and you just say yes to whatever any creator says. I've seen that happen now. There's a couple creators that hated people to death for talking about Jody Sue. Now they can't stop talking about her in a negative way. And we were all stupid a couple weeks ago because of talking about her and how, she's never done this or said that. Well, now it's a different tune. Okay. Let me upload this video file and we'll get going. Okay. I shouldn't be playing. All right, y'all ready? So who this is, all right, let me lay this out for you for this interview. We'll stop a little bit and we'll talk about it as we go. Okay. All right. So what I did today was I called a legal aid out of Tennessee. You know why, right? Because I've had questions. Because when it was said that the parents were not cooperating by Hawkins County, we were, still talking to the parents. I knew that they had not hired an attorney, and from the interview that grandma did, her very first and only one, through the Summer Wells case, she says, Candace didn't have an attorney. We knew she didn't have an attorney. There is no way. I know, for one, they couldn't afford an attorney. Two, you don't have a court-appointed attorney when charges aren't filed, unless an attorney offers a pro bono representation to the parents. They did not have one. So my question was, after Pruitt, after Pruitt said, well, it kind of bleeds over, the guardian ad litem over the boys' custody hearing, I called legal aid and I got answers. And I have another interview with an attorney very soon. Then that's going to be part 2. Okay. I asked an attorney how this works in Tennessee. Okay. Y'all are wanting to know the answers to this, right? I feel like this is how we get to the truth. Correct? Yes, the children have lawyers, each of them. But you're going to hear why I asked this. No attorney could effectively represent the Wells with them being on YouTube, doing interviews, getting intoxicated, going on and talking, and anything there. You cannot be effectively represented. I don't care if you're guilty, innocent, or insane. I don't care. You cannot have effective representation that way. So I asked him, I was like, so a guardian ad litem is a representative, a court-appointed counsel attorney for the children and their best interest in the state of Tennessee, not the parents. They are not represented by the guardian ad litem. So why would they give legal advice to the parents when they're essentially trying to better the lives of the children and representing them in their best interest? Not, if that's the whole thing. The guardian ad litem is over their best interest for the children. So why would they give legal advice to the parents? Why would they tell them to not speak to law enforcement in an investigation for a missing sibling? So what I did in this, so this is the guy I talked to here first off, that I'm going to play. This guy he works at the legal aid office. He's around attorneys all day. I got him to answer questions for me because I knew that I wasn't going to have the interview with the attorney till in the next couple days. So, he said, I will answer what I can. He made it very clear. He said, I'm not an attorney. He says, I'm a notary and I work here. I don't know if he's exactly a paralegal or what. He didn't define it, but he made it clear. but it's still, you know, this is for a legal aid office. I called, there's many of them there in each different town in East Tennessee. I called one in a county. I tried to get a hold of, all right. So I have I'm going to pay a consultation for another attorney. I'm getting multiple inputs because I'm going to put every bit of information from different attorneys, and then I'm going to see, you know, which ones are, you know, accurate with another. I'm trying to be smart about this. I'm trying to take not just one attorney, not just one person's say so. I'm getting multiple. Okay. Um, Night Owl says, "Who? What's that? Who cares? Folders? Maybe none of your business." Okay. You're the one that said, "Hey, what's an owl say? What's an owl say?" So who hell your foot don't fit no land. That's what they say. That's somebody that's nosy in jail when they get locked up. And somebody's always like, you be over having a conversation. Somebody's like, who? They say, who hell your foot don't fit no limb. That's what that reminded me of. So go to the who cares folders. I think if John Candace went to trial, nothing else, they would get court appointed. Yeah, if there's charges ever filed. But you know, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna go ahead and start playing that, okay? I'm gonna mute out for a minute and turn the camera off, and we're gonna play this.
Yes, sir. I was needing to see if I could get some questions answered. I run a media platform, and I was trying to get some answers about Tennessee law and family practice law and guardianism ad litem.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible?
Yes, it depends on what your questions are. I mean, I can do the
Okay,
best answer.
nothing about an active case or anything like that. It's just some pretty much basic questions. So, I know you're probably familiar with some big cases that are happening in East Tennessee right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the Summer Wells case, I had some questions, you know, how basically if some siblings are taken out of a home due to and I'm not speaking about them, you know, per se, so just in general. So say siblings are taken out of a home.
Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna have to refresh. I can't hear anything to keep up with this. So let me refresh my page if that's okay. Don't go nowhere. Dang, man. Dang. Okay, let's try this one more time. Sorry about that. Let me upload this. Stupid. Every time something's got to happen.
Yes, sir. I was needing to see if I could get some questions answered. I run a media platform, and I was trying to get some answers about Tennessee law and family practice law and guardianism ad litem.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible?
Yes, it depends on what your questions are. I mean, I can do the best
Okay,
answer.
Nothing about an active case or anything like that. It's just some pretty much basic questions. So I know you're probably.
So how I did this so as to not ask about an active case, I just did it as examples in my questioning. So therefore, because I felt like, they're probably not going to be able to answer questions if you're stating something straight from a case that is current. So I just asked example wise.
Familiar with some big cases that are happening in East Tennessee right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Summer Wells case, I had some questions, how basically if some siblings are taken out of a home due to I'm not speaking about them, per se, so just in general. So say siblings are taken out of a home and, the court appoints the family, guardian ad litem.
Mm-hmm. The guardian ad litem is not for the family. The guardian ad litem is an attorney to represent the children in their best interest.
Right. So the court appointed to them. So how would parents, what kind of attorneys would they be given in a case like that?
They wouldn't be given an attorney, period.
At all?
Was need for an attorney.
Okay.
And in that case, they would appoint an attorney or an attorney ad litem.
Okay. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going with this. And so say there would be so there's a certain set of siblings taken out of a home, and there's another sibling that is it's a part of a missing child's case. How would that work? Those attorneys that were court appointed over that, can they represent over, especially if there's no charges filed on any persons? How does that work?
If there are no charges filed, you would not be appointed an attorney.
Exactly, but there would be no way that the attorney that is that was appointed or guardian ad litem, whatever, even to, you said the parents wouldn't get one, right? It'd be just to the other children.
Right.
So they wouldn't, there would be no attorneys involved with that. They could give legal advice to anything going on in even an investigation, right?
The only time there would be an appointed attorney would be in the case rights were to be terminated or just hiring private counsel.
Right, which I know had not been done. So I'm trying to think what my wife here, she helps me with my channel. What did you say? Oh, okay, yeah. Would the missing, so if in that situation, would a missing child also be part of the the case where siblings were taken out of a home? Would they be?
What do you mean by missing a child that was missing while the case is going on?
Right. So yeah, say that they remove siblings from a home after a child goes missing.
Right.
Would that missing child be involved in that? Like be a part of that if found?
The guardian ad litem would likely be appointed to all the children.
Right.
And the guardian ad litem would have the right to go pick the child up if found.
Okay. I'm trying to see. I live in a different state. I live in Virginia, and it's quite a bit different
in Virginia.
Right. That's why I wanted to get the Tennessee laws, because that's where I'm looking at some cases over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to get some answers. So that it was described. Maybe I'm going to see how the best way I can put this in an example.
Okay.
So if it was said, you know, unless, okay, here's a better way of saying it. So
Before we go farther,
if
I'm not an attorney. A notary and a secretary can just give you my best explanation from what I've seen and what I know, but I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you any advice. I can tell you, you know, just what I know.
Right, and I'm not needing any advice or anything like that.
I'm just letting you know you're not getting this from an attorney.
Okay, thank you for telling me that. Is there well, I'm sure you work around them all day.
Yes.
Is there any possibility to speak to an attorney at a later date or anything? I still want to ask you some questions, but
we are slightly booked up for this week. Let me see.
Okay. All right, so I'm trying to think.
Our office closed on Fridays.
Okay.
So let me see. The soonest I would have for you to be able to speak to anybody would be Thursday. I can do that about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
If you'd like me to put you down for that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
It's Cam, C-A-M. Yeah, and so I have just if you can answer it, if you can, okay. So why would if you know? So I spoke to I'm just gonna say parents example. If you know they know that they've not hired or able to even afford attorneys for that matter, and no charges have been pressed or anything like that. How could law enforcement say that attorneys have got involved and people aren't cooperating? I don't understand. I'm trying to you get where I'm going with that. I'm trying to understand. Go ahead.
Most of the time, if anything like that happens, they have contacted an attorney. They may not be represented by one, but they may have gotten some advice.
Right, and see
Whether
that's
it be good or bad advice, but they may have gotten some advice from an attorney.
see that's the issue too, and I'll just be kind of blunt with I was speaking to certain individuals on a regular basis and knew that they had not.
Right.
And that was said over mainstream media, and I'm just confused. I've been trying to get those answers for a while, just like where that would even come from. And then I think another explanation was that it bleeds over. That attorney. That's what. This is what was said by a lead investigator. He said that. Well, you know, attorneys with the custody case it bleeds over, and I was like, that makes no sense. That was like a. Go ahead.
In the middle of a custody case that all this stuff happens.
Yeah.
The attorney will normally continue on. They may not be hired for that specific reason, but they are likely to be involved.
Just like giving parents advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I said, whether it be good advice or bad advice, they may be involved. Just depends on the attorney. It's
right, and if those attorneys were for the children's best interest, they probably wouldn't be on helping the parents, though, would they?
Not generally.
Right.
It just depends.
Okay.
It's kind of a case-by-case basis type of thing. It just depends on mainly if, I don't know how to put it, if they know for certain that the parents are not involved.
Yeah.
In the bigger issue, they may give them a little bit of advice.
Right.
But
okay.
not enough capacity to sway something one way or the other.
Right.
Just
Okay.
general advice, not anything. You need to do this. You need to do that. That's not how that works. It would just be in kind of a
I find it
situation.
right. And I find it kind of hard to believe that any attorney that would be represented in any way, shape, or form for any amount of time would allow, say, parents in a high-profile investigation or case of a missing child would allow them on social media in any way, shape, or form, right? They would not be able to.
Not to. I
Yeah.
mean, as far as here, we ask the straightforward. You not be heard, you not be seen,
Right.
you're a ghost until everything is done.
Yeah, you can't effectively provide counsel that way, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
But people are human. They're going to do exactly what you tell them not to do from time to time. I mean, that's just, the nature of people. Sadly, but it's just the nature of people.
Yeah, there's isn't this the case I'm speaking about somewhere else, because the parents went completely they didn't listen to anything to anybody.
People tend to go off the reservation from time to time,
Yeah, it's true, and I just I'll say off the record is that whole situation. I've been trying to listen to what's been said by law enforcement and everything, and it's been, they've said multiple times, they say, they went through GPS data, cell phone data, on and they found nothing.
Right.
Which it would be the parents, but then there was actually a call that the lead investigator of Hawkins County had spoke to another YouTube person and said, that YouTube person was like, well, I just think the parents should be arrested and just for something. And he was like, well, unfortunately, he has to commit a crime to be arrested.
Right.
I thought that spoke volumes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying. I try to listen. It's insane how much people just don't listen. They hear what they want.
Right. But that's not saying that they don't have their own opinions. They don't have anything that they could substantiate.
Right. There's nothing they have anything that holds any merit.
I mean, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck. But, you still got to test and see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. So there's that. I saw somebody say, "Oh, you're talking to the janitor." No, I was not. This guy he's the notary for legal aid, and he is also some other things. I don't know exactly what he does, but he was able to answer questions. It's a legal aid office. I'm sure he does that on a daily basis and gives input to things he can answer. I took advantage of the situation and asked questions while I had him on the phone while I made my appointment for the attorney. Guy was quite knowledgeable, I thought. What's up? Okay. So I want to get y'all's input. I'm sorry the sound was so bad. I'm going to do it on the computer next time. I have a recording app on my phone, and it sucked. Made me charge me. I recorded the call, and then it charged me $9.99 to play my call back and listen to it. So I was upset. Okay, so I asked, and I'm going to have the questions wrote down and better organized for when I speak to the attorney. already have that figured out. So, but what is said though is, you are, court appoints the children a guardian ad litem. The parents do not have that attorney. That attorney is not fighting for them. They're fighting for the best interest of the children. I asked why, would an attorney that's representing the children, why they wouldn't give legal advice to help a parent in an investigation, right? He said not normally. And I don't think it was very clear. I did the best I could. I didn't know that I was going to be actually being able to ask those questions like I was on, at the spur of the moment like that. So I did the best I could. Put yourself in the hot seat, and it's a little different when it comes up like that. So, I want to get y'all's input though. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. I really try. Me and my wife both, we work very hard, and I don't want anything in return. I want to hopefully find answers for Summer. I want to know why, when the TBI came out and said, at the last press conference, when Ansley Daniels asked them, if the parents cooperate, are they being cooperative, or did they not cooperate? They said, we're not going to characterize what cooperation is as to not lead to further speculation. They didn't back Hawkins County up at all. That said a lot to me. So if that was a investigative tactic by Hawkins County, I don't know what would be the point of doing so. You say you're not cooperating, but yeah, we know that law enforcement hadn't been out there speaking to them for months and months. When in December, when the trespassing call came, and I filmed law enforcement coming up to speak to Candace Wells, and I filmed that whole thing when Shannon and Benny and Robin and all them were up there. We filmed that. Nothing was even said about Summer. And then on Grandma's interview with the news, she said, I hadn't spoke to law enforcement, but she said December 14th was the first time I'd spoke to him since. It was actually the 10th of December. Why? Why then come out and say they're not cooperating? That didn't. I think we're going to get further on part 2 of this interview. We're going to have a lot more answers. I think it's going to be very good. I believe that the attorney will be able to answer, and I'm going in full force. I'm not holding anything back on that interview. I'm asking everything that I can, everything that I can get away with. I'm going to try my best to do it, responsibly and effectively. I'm going to try to do the best thing. I want answers. There has to be answers for this. Because regardless, nobody wants to see. Now, we don't want it's not. And the reason I say this now, it's not right to go ahead and put people in jail that maybe have not committed a crime, or just to try to say, well, this is the easy way out or something like that. You don't ever want that, because we have there's cases that are overturned and people that are exonerated all the time that have served years and years and years in prison. Yes, they've made mistakes. Other places, maybe they should have paid the price for the crimes they did commit, but I don't believe in locking somebody up for the rest of their life for something they didn't do. I think that we have to have proof. We have to have hard proof. Now, if there's, if the neglect things and all that come into play, then they should have to pay for those. And the things in Utah, if that comes up for Don, then, he's found guilty for that, then he needs to be held accountable for that. But we need to have fair actions. Who has been questioned, though, more than the parents? Do we know who that is? It's been a neighbor. Who's everybody that since the 15th pointed at, or not the 15th, but since Chris McDonough did the interview with H, what was the name that was brought up? Zandy. And you know, I don't know. Salmon Saturday, what's all bother, man? What's happened? I'm not deflated. I'm not taking up for anybody. I'm saying whoever is responsible, whether it be Don Wells, Candace Wells, Grandma, whether it be whoever it is out there, or somebody, say if it is somebody that was up on the property, if there was something, whoever, they need to be held responsible, regardless what their damn name is. And if they're responsible, they need to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. That's not, but I also think that people do not need to go down for something unless they are proven without a shadow of a doubt. To later be exonerated after serving 30 years, you know, put yourself in those shoes. Well, you know, you could be at the wrong place, wrong time. And they say, hey, well, the shoe fits, you better wear it. Well, I wear the same shoe size and maybe I like the same colors, but that don't mean it's my shoe. You know, now whether it's got my DNA in that shoe and my sweat and whatever in it, then that be the difference. That's the catalyst. But you know, it's let's make sure that the investigation goes the way it should, that people do their jobs. Now, we went over the feds. We went over how, you know, some are within, if there was an abduction, they did not rule it out. They did not say, they just don't have evidence of it. Correct. It's not mean they've ruled it out. So say they did, say tomorrow they find the red truck and they talk to the guy and he had something to do with it. Well, they didn't rule out abduction because then there's proof of abduction. I'm saying speculatively. So say that happens. Then what? You know what I mean? So let's hope that the investigation and the people that are over it are handling. But what I was saying about the FBI is, you know, some, you know, not some, but most children that are abducted do not make it past the first hour. Over 50% of children that are abducted their life is ended within the first hour. It took law enforcement 45 minutes to get out to this local law enforcement to get out to, well, give or take, so 38, 37, whatever it is, minutes. They cut off a little bit of that time. It's usually 45 minutes. I think when they came out for the trespassing, it was 42. Anyway, that still is give or take 20 something minutes that Summer has before, you know, her statistics go up. And after the first hour, it's like it goes 75% within the next 3 hours. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but you get where I'm coming from. So local law enforcement gets out there, runs their investigation before they can even call the TBI in, call the FBI, whatever. If TBI picks it up, you know, however that works, you know, they weren't out there. You know, the card team and stuff weren't out there. We don't know the specific date. I haven't seen anything that says the specific date says that they were out there on the 15th. I only have law enforcement, and when TBI says that they came, they know as of a few days ago, but it was reported on the 20th by the news that card team was involved. Still, if she was abducted, that's, you know, she didn't have a fighting chance. She had 20 minutes. Those odds are very slim. Okay, so next thing. Okay, we're not going to spread misinformation here, Tessie. Yeah, the living conditions were not good. They were not up to par. By no means. By no means. I agree with that. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, I've seen much worse too, American True Crime. I have. And I've seen a lot of houses where children live and they're, or social service has been called. They don't remove the children. Even if the in house is worse than that. If they're fed, they're clothed, and they have a place to sleep, their own rooms, they don't usually remove children. I'm just gonna be real with people. I think a lot of people are under this false reality that, every child is removed from the home. That's not. They try to not do that. They give a lot of chances. Um, it's not like just one strike you're up and your kids are gone. You have to fail multiple urine screens. You have to do there's a lot of things before they actually remove your children. Now, unless it's very very bad, very 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 bad, and when they come in and it's just like these kids are let's try to use an example. And I don't think if this was a high profile case like it was, that things would have went the way they did either. This is my opinion. I live in this area. I've seen how things go. Just trying to be real with y'all. You might not agree with me or not. Come here and I can take you to houses where children are, and you can personally call social service and say, I don't agree with the way they live. Promise you they will go and they will investigate it and probably nothing will happen. I'm just telling you that. Because not the standards aren't the same for a lot of people. It's just the way it is, and especially here, people we're a little bit behind the rest of the world. So it is sad, but it's the truth. Minnesota gal says whatever. You don't agree? You don't believe it? So you just gave me an idea. So I might go to some people's homes and film. I might show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I can show you a whole neighborhood in the middle of town where houses are worse than the wells are. In town. A whole neighborhood. You don't believe me? We'll show you. Buy a plane ticket here and I will personally escort anybody who wants to around, and I will show you firsthand. And I'll put my money where my mouth is. It's not the same as where y'all probably live. This is I guess, what would you call it? The deep south, the hillbillies, the mountains. I got something to show you. Hold on, you want me to show you something? Let me pull something up real quick. That coconut cream, you live here. Tell them in the chat. I'll pay for them. You come down here, but then if I pay for you to come here and I show you around, if you got to put your foot in your mouth, you have to for a year change your name to Cracking Cases is right above all means. I was wrong. I am wrong about everything I said. You have to wear that moniker, and then everything in the chat you have to type that every time. Everything you comment will have to be, I was wrong, they were right. If I pay for it to get you here to say, that's what it's going to have to be. That's the rules. I'm going to pull something up. Rabanza, there you go. So I believe you. I just need you to pay. I know you didn't in a second. I didn't know how to take you. It's all good. All right, let me pull this up, and then I'm going to pull up another interview that was done, and we're going to go over some things that were said in it that I have questions about. Okay. All right, let me pull this up real quick. I want to show y'all something. Let me pull this up and we'll. Okay, here's a good one. Let me see. All right, here you go. Here's something good. Okay. Let me share my screen here and I'll show this to you. Sorry about that. It took me a minute to find it.
Tennessee, from the bright lights of Broadway to the picturesque Smokies, Volunteer State has something for nearly everyone. For any good food and good music, this just may be the place for you. But before you get swept away by the rolling hillsides and southern charm, listen up, because today we're talking about the places you don't want to live here. Now, of course, your idea of bad and my idea of bad are going to be different things, right? But I think we can all agree that places where there's high crime and poverty and where the schools are bad and where home values are bad are going to be terrible places to live. And plus, I got the opinion of you Tennessee people. You guys all have strong opinions on the place Georgia border. Violent crime here is pretty bad. There were a bunch of murders and rapes here last year. And make sure you lock your cars when you're in Chattanooga.
Okay.
Wait, what? That gives you a whole new meaning to the name Dyersburg, doesn't it? On top of the crime, poverty is also an issue here. A core of the population struggling to make ends meet, and nearly 10% of people here are jobless. Homes are the second cheapest in the state for a reason. You can get a home here for like $100,000, and unfortunately, 17% of adults never graduated high school. Even if you put that all aside, there just isn't much to do in Dyersburg. And if that wasn't enough to worry about here, Dyersburg's proximity to the new Madrid seismic zone makes this city at risk for earthquakes. At number 8, we're heading back east to Newport, where there's only 6,800 people. From the 1920s through the 1960s, Newport was notorious throughout the Southeast as a moonshine hotspot. And today, well, it's known for a lot more than moonshine. Newport's a struggling city. Nearly 43% of residents are living below the poverty line, and just over 13% are jobless. This could be the result of education. 21% of adults never finished high school. Drugs are a growing issue here, and so is the crime rate. In fact, Little Newport has the highest overall crime rate in Tennessee, and it's more than 3 times higher than the national average. Little Newport, what is going on? Most of its property.
Hold on, I can't play all this. I'm just going to commentate on it, but this is what I'm talking about. Newport's right outside. That's in Cock County, I think. Rockwood. Hold on, let me find the. Okay, here's Morristown. Covington, Ripley, Morristown. Let's play that one, and then we'll be done.
State with over 100 manufacturers making this place home. 100 people. So you think that would mean Morristown is flourishing with job opportunities and economic growth, but not so much. More than a quarter of this town still lives below the poverty line, and a lot of people here still don't work. And as a result, lots of people here are broke, and a lot of people don't have a real education. And don't be fooled by the beauty and nature of Morristown. The crime rate here is more than double the national average. People living here say the garbage litters the streets, and it's not safe for kids to play outside. Plus, you have to drive about an hour if you want something nicer than Walmart or fast food. But one thing Morristown does have is a rich history. There's even a museum dedicated to the tavern Davy Crockett once ran here. Davy Crockett.
I'm muted. Did it for the first time. There's your sign. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is come to my town and I can show you a little better because I'm more familiar. There's Southwest Virginia is probably a little worse than East Tennessee. Well, I haven't done the whole speaking while muted in a while, so there it is. Anyway, yeah, I caught it, guys, y'all. I actually caught it before y'all told me this time. What's up, Ziggy? So selling drugs is a money income? I guess so. In this area. You would be surprised. Next thing. So let me pull this up. I'm hoping I didn't get to edit this the way I wanted to. So hopefully I'll be able to show this without it being a problem. It's just bits and pieces of this interview that was done with Jackie Dobbs, and I had some questions and I wanted y'all to go over, and then I'm done for tonight. Let me pull this up. Where is it? It's right. I know it saved it. Give me just a second. Well, shoot. Well, while I got this up, let's show this. Here's something that contradicts intermission video. Y'all want to watch it? No, thank you. This is what I was going to show, though. Sorry about that. I have to pull it up this way. Dude, my computer's like doing some weird stuff today. I do apologize. Very much so. Okay, here it is. Load.
Local police.
Share screen. Okay. So what I want to go over first, and I'm just see if y'all are on the same page. Do you remember in this interview, Jackie Dobbs says on his way back to Cleveland, Tennessee, that Andy calls him irate. Did y'all catch that in this interview when you watched it? What happened with Jeff? Did I miss something? Y'all keep. Yes, but Tessie, you got to understand this. When you what's it called? When you are willed or you inherit a property through your family around here, you get what you get. Whatever shape it's in, when you inherit it is what you get. Now, whatever money you have to repair that home. Now, we know he did put an addition on it. We know that, I don't know how much that cost. I don't know what was done. There was things that were done that he did do to try to, I guess, better the house, but there could have been a lot more done. I don't know their money situation, and none of us do either. We can speculate on how much Don got paid, but we don't know if he had court fines taken out of his paycheck every month. We don't know if he has back child support paying on any of his other kids. We don't know how much is taken out of his check every month, do we? And that's none of our business to know his financial means. And, you know, but we can say, oh, because he does this for a living, this is how much he's making guaranteed. No, that's not accurate. That's not a true statement. We don't know his current financial state in any way. This is the problem I have in this case. People act like they know everything for sure, and they put things out as facts that are not. We don't know people's living situation. Yes, he also had a drug habit. Is that our business? Yeah, we can shake our finger and say bad, 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 Don. But do we have any say so on how he spent his money or how they did with their fine? No. And, you know, could he took that drug money and put it towards his house? 100%. Yes, he could. Did he? Probably not. Did he try to go to Utah to get more better work down there? It appears that way, and Candace didn't want to go. Why is that? Did they try to move away from that home? I think Don wanted to. You know, we don't know the reasons why either. But that's the exact point I'm trying to make. We don't know everything. We have what secondhand information we get in with a little bit of things that we can try to prove that Don said or Candace said that we, you know, it's neither here nor there. None of us know anything besides what they say, or until law enforcement says this is 100% how this went down, or unless we can look at legal documentation and say this is what's on their background, this is what did happen, this is what did not happen, you know, that's the only way we can say 100% anything. Do we know that he was going, you know, we can say, yeah, he had a drug problem. Do we know how often he really was going down and going and buying, substances? We don't know accurately. People can say, oh, well, yeah, he was going once a week, every weekend. But does that mean it's true? No, it doesn't. That's not taken up for Don Wells. That's not taken, but we don't know. It's not our place to know. But what we can know is the public information that we have as far as people living around the community, their charges that they had, if they're a RSO, that matters. There's a lot of them there. We know that there is a high crime rate. We know that there are 6 other missing cases in Hawkins County right now, going back to the late 80s, early 90s. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not our place to throw our big finger of pointing and saying, you did this, you did that, when we didn't know. We can say you did this, you did that because your house looked like that when Chris M went in and filmed it. Do we know what it looked like before law enforcement flipped it 7, 8 times, whatever? We don't know. We don't have pictures of that. We have pictures of law enforcement. Did they flip the house before they took pictures? We don't know that. They know. We don't know. Right? Some people ain't going to like what I have to say, but that's the truth. We don't know. We weren't there. We weren't there. Sorry. I mean, that, you know, until somebody speaks out and says, hey, this is what it looked like. Here's a picture of it with this timestamp. It's accurate to the day. This is 2 minutes before law enforcement came up here. This is what the house looked like then. This is what it looks like now. Till we have a comparison like that, we don't know. Okay. Look, there was a big rumor going around that all they ate was frozen pizzas for the longest time. I knew that to be false, and I kept hearing it, and I knew where it came from. It's not accurate. Not true. Where did that come from? How would anybody know that? Oh, that's all they ate was frozen pizzas. Did they talk to any of the children up there? Who did they talk to know that? Who did they talk to know that? I'm just saying. That's the stuff I've had a problem with. Say what again? America True Crime. Yeah, I would have. There wouldn't have been no sheetrock on. That's not what I'm saying, Glitter Witch. You're taking that to a whole nother level. They should have flipped that house. But I'm talking about, do we know what the house, what I'm not, whoa, see how easy that got twisted right there? I would have took my own sheetrock off my walls if my child was missing. What I'm saying is, we don't know what the house looked like, if it was in shape, if it wasn't, if it was like it was in Chris M's picture, if that's how they lived. We know that once they flip your house, law enforcement don't pick up what they come in and throw out to look for your child. You can clean up every time, but I'm sure after the 7th, 8th time and days in a row, you're going through a lot with a missing child. Are you going to be wanting to clean every day? No. I'm just putting myself what I would do. I would be out searching. I would be doing things a whole lot different than the Wills were. That's just truth. That's again, not taking up for them. We would do a whole lot different. I know me and my wife would be on a whole nother level than what they were, but we're not them. And we don't know what was going on there. They don't have to tell us anything. So okay, so I'm going to play this. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to be rude. I'm just saying we don't know anything. I just don't like the speculation. That's why we're in the situation we are now in this investigation, because that's where the misinformation, that's where the things are going wrong, that people state their opinion as fact and then we get far away from it. Now, use your words. Let's use our big boy words and big girl words. Allegedly, fact, speculation, example. That's what we have to. When you bring out any information, show something that backs it up. Do your due diligence. Say, this is why I feel this way. This is why I'm saying this is this way, or something. For example, this is the proof I have to back up my claims. Okay. Anyway, here we go.
No, on the way home on the 16th, Andy Bernard called in, and that's what the tone in his voice.
Thank you, Aussie Trisha.
When he called me,
Can y'all hear that?
he called me, and he told me, give me the TBI's number, so I called the TBI.
The local police?
No, on the way home on the 16th, Andy Bernard called in, and that's what the tone in his voice, the real menacing when he called me. He told me, give me the TBI's number, so I called the TBI. Before I left Tennessee, I called them, and they didn't say not to read Tennessee. So, and I didn't have a place to stay in Tennessee, so I went back down to Cleveland and tried to stay.
All right, here's my question to that. I hope that somebody else caught this besides me. Please tell me you did. If Andy had Jackie Dobbs' phone number, why did they have to go searching for him at all in hollers or whatever? He said he called him on the 15th, told him he needed to get in touch with TBI. Did y'all catch that? Do you see what I'm saying? Why did he have his number? That goes their story again, Jody Sue. If you have his phone number, why do you have to go search in hollers? Now, it's going to go on to say that Jody Sue and them told him a motel to go stay at in Baileyton. Why do you have to go search for motels and go down if you know supposedly, allegedly, where you pointed the man in the direction to go? Now, one, you have his phone number. You have his phone number. You pointed him to a motel. He didn't stay there. He went to Churchill. Then Andy calls you. What? I don't get it. And then we have this big elaborate story by Jody Sue that here, I'm going to pull these up real quick. Then we have this big elaborate story by Jody Sue. Maybe I already put them into a. Okay, here actually we'll just do it this way. That she was out searching, she was doing this, she was doing that. But Polly Bernard, which is Andy's mother, posts on the 15th or 16th. Right here, this bottom one here. My son and 2 kids and wife have been helping with the search since 8:24 p.m. There's that random number, 8:24. That seems to me that Jody Sue, your mother-in-law, just blew your whole story out of the water. What were you doing? Because at 8:24, you claimed you were searching before Don Wells got home. You were on one side of the creek. The boys were on the other. You heard all this. You were searching before Candace even knew she was missing. And where did they get this 8:24 number? I would gather that probably her son or Jody Sue texted her and said, "We've been searching since 8:24. Quite a number, right? Why not 8:25? Why not 8:20? Why not 8:30? You see what I'm saying? There's another one gone. People might not think this case is going anywhere, but look, a lot's being said here lately. A lot's being said. Do law enforcement know about this? Do they know about this post right here? Is this not valid? This throws Jody Sue's whole story out the window. Who knows what she's telling FBI and telling TBI? There's multiple agencies doing investigation, talking to them. Does this line up? Where does this 8:24 come from? Do they know that you went up to the Wells property on, listen to this, on the 14th when Jackie Dobbs packed up and left his property? Does law enforcement know that you went to the Wells property and went up there and told them about Jackie Dobbs? But you had his phone number. You knew, you pointed him, obviously, at the altercation at the end. You said, here's a motel you can go stay at. Here's it. Okay. You see what I'm saying? I'm bringing some mind blowers tonight, man. I wish people were listening and paying attention. I'm throwing it out there. Look, call me what you want to call me, but don't call me someone who don't bring something to back it up, and I won't show you some stuff, because I have. All right. I got another one for you. Did y'all hear this in the interview with Jackie Dobbs? Who did Jackie claim to talk to before anybody on Ben Hill Road? White Sonoma, Don Wells. That's what he says. Do you want? Let's hear that part. I'm glad you guys are. That's right, Skilo. Am I doing all right tonight, guys? Y'all following me? I'm sorry I've had some technical issues, but am I doing okay? Has this been pretty good live? Y'all don't care? Hey, if you like me a little bit, put some touch DNA on that like button. That's all I ask for. Be nice. Show a little love. It's free. All right, cool. Cool. Thank y'all. Okay. Let's pull that up and see what he says there. You must be doing good work. Them trolls be trolling. They hate it when you're doing something good. We ain't paying attention though. Hey, look, trolls. Mwah. Y'all, we love you too. You can lurk and you can troll, but you don't matter here. They always feel like they matter, and that's how they get their attention. It's like a child that has, you tell them good attention, bad attention is way different than good attention. You want good attention. You don't want bad attention. You know how you tell a child that? Trolls still don't get it. They're like, I want attention regardless. They're like, I want to be noticed. Okay, here, let me get this. I'm trying to fix this so it's not so blurry. Okay. All right, so let me pull this back up.
The wife for a few more days, and then she got tired of me, and I went to stay with my sister, and so here I am now, here in beautiful LJ with my son.
Okay, so the police never even talked to you?
No, the local Hawkins County, no. Except they talked to me about the land dispute.
Oh, okay, but
they were there,
yeah.
Let's see what,
Now did they?
I talked to FBI. The FBI sent two guys to see me, Agent Collins and Agent Murphy.
Uh-huh.
And Agent Collins asked the questions, and Murphy watched me like a hawk. body language, and he was there to read my body language.
Yeah.
And ever since since that interview in June, they haven't been bothering me. They checked my story out, and
Yeah.
And that inn, the roadway inn, there were cameras all over that place, Don.
Now, the day that little girl went missing, were you even up in the Beach Creek area?
No.
Okay.
I didn't tell the whole day. I was the afternoon. Well, in the morning, I get up and make some.
All right, so I have to stop it and talk just so I can be under fair use. Excuse me. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
And go try to find a biscuit.
Come on, play. Come on. What is going on, man? Play. Stupid. No. Give it just a second. It's got to warm up like an old truck or something. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. So dumb. Here we go. So this is what I got to do. I'm going to reload it. Okay.
The local police?
No, on the way home on the 16th, Andy Bernard called in, and that's what the tone in his voice, the realness, and when he called me, he told me he gave me the TBI's number, so I called the TBI.
Uh-huh.
Before I left Tennessee, I called them, and they didn't say not to read Tennessee.
If this don't work after this, we're gonna do it at another time, so I can work on my computer. I've covered a lot tonight, and I'm getting
The rest of the day, Elvis has to go out and walk around every hour or two, so we're walking around the ground every hour or two that afternoon.
Right.
And I'm sure that the TBI has all it takes for that day. I hope they do anyway.
I'd say they do.
I'm pretty sure they do. Anyway, we're out walking several times, and when you're out walking with Elvis, you're going to make friends, because this is a friendly dog right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves people.
I bet he's a great lap dog.
I've got it on
Yeah,
fast forward so we can listen to it.
I think the neighbor that was in the room beside us, the renter, the hotel person beside us, we talked 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were there all day, Don.
Yeah.
We were all there all day. And I'm calling lawyers and surveyors.
Oh, you was
Yeah, check it out. I give up today. I'm done with that. I can't do more. I've had enough with the technical difficulties. I've done what I can today, guys. I'm sorry about that. I think it's something with my internet or something going on. Anyway, what do y'all think? What can we do? What can we do better? This is what I want to do, though. I want to see where you guys are from. I want to know, and I'm gonna watch. And I'm gonna call out this chat. This is something new. Y'all check this out. I put this together. Tell me how you like it. Okay. This is what I put together. I want to see where you're from. Put it in the chat. I want to know how many people where you are coming here from. So
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I actually go back after it's over and I look at where you guys are. That I like that. I want to travel so bad. I've been stuck. Me and Allie have been stuck in these mountains our whole life. One day we're going to. When our kids, are older, we're going to still kind of be young. And when they leave the nest, we're going to hopefully be able to travel one day. I want to go around the world, hopefully see something besides these hills before I am done and gone. You know what I mean? You guys that are in Ireland, and that's where I've always wanted to go. I've wanted to go to Germany. I want to go to it's just, that's the life I always saw myself living, was a traveling life. Anyway, guys, y'all been awesome tonight. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm trying to get this channel to be, I don't know, to be something better, give y'all some more entertainment. It's not going to do that if my computer keeps messing up. So I'm going to be working on it. It's going to give it. I have a nice computer. Thank y'all. The very beginning, man, a sub donated this to us, and it has been a godsend. It really has. It was a blessing. So, I that's always been amazing. Like we weren't nothing. We maybe had just few, maybe 100 subs, and somebody did that for us, man. And that was real. That was some heart right there. That's why we wanted to give back to people that need it. Constance, I remember, as soon as we get in a better situation, those people that were asking for help, I got you. I'm going to try to help. There's some other people that have asked for help. I want to be able to help people when I can. Guys, y'all are awesome. We appreciate it. Y'all got anything else before I roll? Is Gonzo in here? For real? I haven't seen him in a while. Is Gonzo here? Excuse me. Sorry, I had two things pop up. Can't see my chat. Yeah, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for always tuning in and being, supportive of us. Oh, Gonzo's cool. Oh, no Gonzo tonight. I haven't seen him in a while. I'd like to talk to him. Anyway, let's pray out of here. Dear Lord, thank you for what you do. Thank you for all the people that are here from different places, different diversities, different, just way of life. So Lord, let us all come together and be one and be able to help one another and not hate one another. Lord, we ask for answers to these cases. Let us get closer. Let us do it without hate in our heart, and just understanding that, there is consequences for our actions, Lord. And I pray that if anybody did anything to hurt any of these children, that they are brought to justice, whoever it is, whether it be the parents, whether it be the neighbor, whether it be a guy down the road, whether it be somebody drove by, whoever it is. We ask they're brought to justice, Lord. All these cases, even the ones that don't get media attention, we ask for just peace and just blessings over Richard's family's case, or Richard's family, through his case. It's just been hard on them. Prayers for Anthony, prayer for everybody in the chat that need a blessing, Lord. Thank you for all of them being in our lives, and we hope that we're a blessing in theirs. In Jesus' name, pray, amen. Thank y'all again for being here. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice, but justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate. Allie loves y'all. Y'all give a big hello to her. She's healing. Things are getting better for her with her foot. I guess that's it. Till next time, y'all keep on cracking. God bless. We'll catch you on the next one.